Okay, good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be discussing our Capstone project by Amargeet Bell, Megan Power, myself, Jessica Robbins, and Katie Watkin. So tonight we will go over the identified problem, discuss the proposed plan, the implementation and funding, and the process of evaluation. The site we chose is Freedom High School, which is a part of Liberty Union High School District in Oakley, California. The site has 2,589 students with 5 counselors. 4 of the counselors serve the general population of the students, while 1 counselor is a targeted counselor and serves the ELD, homeless foster youth, and special education students. So our needs assessment. Data was collected from the School Accountability Report Card, or the SARC report, the LCAP, Single Plan for Student Achievement, the Learning Continuity and Attendance Plan, and we conducted counselor interviews. After that was completed, the identified problem was the student to counselor ratio. ASCA recommends the counselor ratio be 1 to 250 students, while Freedom High School has 1 to 517 students, doubling the ASCA recommendation. Previous research links lower student to counselor ratios to increased academic and social emotional performance, increased college preparedness, a reduction in education impediments, and better graduation rates and lower disciplinary incidents.
I'm Megan, and I'm going to go over our proposed plan. So our proposed plan is to reduce the counselor to student ratio by establishing partnerships with area colleges such as Brandman University in order to have regular access to school counseling interns who need to complete their fieldwork. We plan to create framework which would allow mentor counselors to conserve their most precious resource, which is time, and would allow interns to meet each standard set forth by the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing. Our plan would allow for 4 interns per semester. Each intern would complete a 12-week internship working approximately 35 hours per week, which would allow for the interns to complete their 400 fieldwork hours at the secondary level. Our plan could be altered to fit different school sites and grade levels, different area colleges, and different intern positions, such as mental health therapists, social workers, or marriage and family therapists. We have included an example of what our framework would look like, but for purposes of time, we will not be going over this in depth. We would like to point out that the intern tasks are listed in blue, while the standards they meet were listed in gold, and the LCAP goals are listed in red.
I'm Amargeet, and I'm going to be talking about the implementation and funding. So like Megan stated, this plan focuses on building a network and establishing partners with the surrounding colleges. The partnership will include an outline framework like she described that discusses the specific duties and responsibilities the interns are going to be focusing on. It is also designed to ease the task of building the framework and assignments for the supervising counselors. The hope with this is that the framework will be able to make partnerships more appealing to the surrounding districts and work on establishing contracts with those involved by limiting the amount of planning that will be needed from the supervising counselors, outlining in specific detail what the interns will be supporting them with. As far as funding, essentially there would be no cost to implementing this plan. The interns would be working under a supervising counselor in return of the experience and completed fieldwork hours. The only true cost of this plan would come from time spent to develop the framework and time spent in meetings with potential partners to iron out any of the details or questions that may arise during initial conversations. With that being said, there will be a budget of $4,000 to support the interns in planning activities or small groups that will meet the LCAP goals.
My name is Katie Watkin, and I will be going over the process of evaluation. So we will be collecting both quantitative and qualitative data to analyze in order to assess the effectiveness of our plan. So some of the qualitative data that we will collect will include surveys and questionnaires that will go out to the counseling team. The team will then assess the effectiveness of the program using a 1 to 5 scale. And then the quantitative data, we will compare academic numbers from the current year to past years. These academic numbers might include grade improvements, GPAs, attendance numbers such as absences and tardies, suspension rates, and LCAP goals. On our next slide, we have our resources, and that is the end of our presentation. So thank you for listening, and please let us know if anyone has any questions.